Hello everyone. So this is Maya Jacobs and Corbin Renee Jacobs, and he and I were talking, and we have decided that we are going to talk with you today about my views on ebooks, print, hardback, or paperback. This will be a nice short video because I don't have a lot to say unless something comes up once I get in the flow state. Let me put this phone down so I can back away so you guys can see me better. And am I too far away? Is this close enough now, or do I need to move away, or too close or too far? How are we doing? Anyways, so I am not a big fan of the electronic books. Okay? I don't have a lot of good to say about them either, unfortunately. First off, we all spend too much damn time on our phones anyways. Alright? It's not good for our eyes. It's not good for our minds. We really need to be outside more in the sun. We need that vitamin D. It does a lot of eye damage. And I'm not even so sure, like the lighting, is there, I don't want to sound stupid here, but is there any type of radiation? I don't fully trust the way phones are made. I'm sorry. Maybe we don't know there's radiation, but I wouldn't have thought of that for nothing, right? Like, nothing's a coincidence. So there's something with our phones, maybe chemically, something going on, radioactive, something that we don't know about. But something. And maybe not every phone, maybe it's certain phones, but there's something with that. So I don't have these kind of intuition and thoughts for nothing. Usually they line up with something past, present, or future. So anyways, not big on the ebooks, never have been. But not just because of that, but because it's not personal. So I don't like to read books. And I never liked the way books smelled, I'm going to be honest. I remember we had this really old library, and them books were so musty smelling, I couldn't stand the way a book smelled. But I remember hearing authors talk about, and readers, they loved the way books smelled. They loved to go to the library and smell it, sit there and read it. I'm sorry, but I don't. However, because of the way other people have talked about that became a major setting point, major foundation for me. I prefer print because I want people to do that with my books. So print is best, okay? Because of that. Because you can't smell that smell. You never hear people talking about smelling an ebook. Picking up their tablet and sniffing their tablet, right? But also, with the tablets and the electronics, it is too easily dropped into a lake, too easily dropped somewhere, broken, thrown out the window, and breaks when it's dropped, falls out a window or out a car door like we do our phones all the time. And then, a lot of times, everything you bought is gone. Especially if you don't know how to use cloud, and cloud is becoming more popular, but there's still a lot of people who don't know how to use cloud. So then they lose all of that, right? So, and then, if it rains on your phone or your tablet, it's ruined that way. If you forget it and leave it outside, or if the sun bakes it and it overheats, so the battery inside it, that the things that it's built with, it sweats because you took it camping, and it sweated all inside there, and then it corrodes, and electronics can be ruined too much, and people want to steal your electronics. Let's do that too, okay? They want to steal your phone, your tablet, your computers, all right? I'm not into the whole electronic thing for my books, okay? I like them printed. And I tell you, there are books that people are finding that are hundreds of years old. Hundreds of years old, okay? That were printed, might be falling apart now, might be moldy now, but they're hundreds of years old. And I want my book to get that old, okay? That doesn't happen with the tablets. Where do you hear about a 100-year-old tablet, a 200-year-old tablet? And most of these tablets have to keep being updated, keep being upgraded, and if you don't, then it doesn't want to work. You're not going to hear about that, right? I want my books printed so that in 100 years, 200 years from now, I mean, they're still finding pieces of the Bible, right? Scriptures. The ones in stone, sure, but I mean, they're finding things that were written on cloth, millions of years old, thousands of years old, etc. I want my book to be found. Write it in cloth. Give it a hardcover. I want that book. I want my books to be found 300, 400, 500, 1,000 years from now. That's not going to happen with electronics. Electronics has its benefits, but when it comes to publishing, I want my books written. I want them printed out. I want to hold them in my hand. I want to have to flip the pages. I want that old-fashioned experience. They found books in time capsules. People buried them. They found books hidden in walls. You hide a tablet in a wall, and in 100 years from now, that thing is going to be done. It'll probably be so daggone outdated, you wouldn't get it to work again. So that's pretty much the conclusion of it. I want my books in hardback. I am not big on paperback. I like everything hardback because that's sturdier. I travel a lot. I camp a lot. I'm homeless a lot. I've been homeless over 12 times in 17 years. I'm homeless now, trying to get all these books published. And paperback is crumpled. It gets down in the bag and it crumples up. And I want everything in hardback. That's going to make it harder to carry, sure. And when I can, I keep everything in storage, and we have an RV. So between storage and an RV, that's what I was doing. But as I get out and I start going more, I might not always have an RV. I can't assume everything I'm going to have an RV. I want mine in hardback. I personally think all books should be hardback. There shouldn't be any paperbacks. They should all be hardback. I also prefer mine in traditional binding. I don't like the spiral notebook thing. I thought I would, and it's okay, but I did not end up liking that. And I have a really good notebook that I've used for writing paper, and I love it. And I got it because I thought, hey, this is cool, this is great. And I love the spirals in it. And this one was made really special. It's hardback, and I mean, it's really thick spirals, metal, hard, really good spirals on it. And it's all stretched out now, and the papers and the hardback's coming out of it. And I haven't even had it a year. I'm not big on the spiral thing at all. I like traditional binding, and I like hardback books because they are more endurable. For children and everything, they are more endurable. A child can throw them more. They will last longer. I prefer that. So anyways, that is pretty much the conclusion of this video. And I really appreciate you guys staying tuned and talking with me and listening to what I had to say. You have a blessed day.